So since I got to Dubai, the crypto market has been absolutely ripping to the upside. And now the White House just posted this saying she's in her golden age. And I'm not going to play the rest of that for copyright reasons, but massive news is taking place in the markets, and it's very clear that XRP is the future. Now, what we're going to dive into in this video is what Trump said in this specific clip right here. On top of that, we're going to dive into the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart, what's happening right now and expectations in the short term that you need to be ready for. So we have some real-time analysis for you guys. Also, what Jack Dorsey just did for Bitcoin that's extremely bullish, and how this is going to affect the XRP, the US dollar price chart, and what's happening with Tether's market cap dominance and the expectations moving forward. Plus, what we just got done doing. It's 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning right now for me, and we just finished 3 live calls for our passive crypto cash flow challenge, and I'll explain how you guys can get access to those by the end of this video. Hour and 47 minutes was the first one, 2 hours and 16 minutes was the second one, and then the one that we just finished up was an hour and 54 minutes long. So massive value was just delivered. And if you guys got value, if you're on those lives, comment "it's paid" in the comments below. And as always, also comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree. Confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that?
Using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Now, what company has state-of-the-art crypto technology that deals with cross-border payments to upgrade the entire financial space? It's Ripple. And Trump also just posted this saying, we just completed a massive deal with Japan, perhaps the largest deal ever made. Japan will invest, at his direction, $550 billion into the United States, which will receive 90% of the profits. The deal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. There has never been anything like it. Perhaps most importantly, Japan will open their country to trade, including cars, trucks, rice, and certain other agricultural products and other things. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs to the United States of 15%. This is very exciting times for the United States of America, and especially for the fact that we will continue to always have a great relationship with the country of Japan. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, here's one thing that a lot of people want to understand is if it's going to be the golden age of, America, and the White House is posting this extremely bullish stuff, Trump is posting extremely bullish stuff for crypto, how do you benefit from it rather than just holding spot? Well, on the past 3-day live sessions that we did, we had Yoni, our chief research officer, and Ryan with Altcoin Pro break down these concepts that are helping people earn passive income in the DeFi space in real time. And so in order to get access to these replays, you guys can go to the live section right here on YouTube and you can just check them out. The first one, we had 9,300 people attend. The second one, 6,500. And then the one streamed 9 minutes ago, 1,300. So obviously there's going to be a little bit of a fall off on each of these because most people that attend day one, they don't finish what they start. And that's just the numbers. That's just how it works. People that are going to say they're going to do something, but they never actually follow through with it, are the reason why most people just don't get rich. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer because the rich finish what they start. And then we also open the doors for our accelerator program. You guys can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can apply now. We're only accepting 30 people, and this is the most intensive coaching program that we will ever create, and we're only allowing 30 people. And once it's closed, and it's going to be over the course of 4 months. And so you guys are going to be able to learn directly with me on live calls. I'm going to be breaking down live technical analysis, my thoughts on the markets with you, and also my plan with my portfolio and how to position yourself properly over the next few months. Because when we look at Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart, let's just dive into the charts here and let's take a look compared to the past and see where Bitcoin is at and what I see happening. Because right here In 2013, when Bitcoin topped out at about $1,000, we saw this complacency stage bounce after this first initial sell-off right here for the psychology of a market cycle. And it's very clear and it's very easy to see that in October 2021 to November 2021, on the weekly candles, Bitcoin did the exact same thing right here. The true high, based on the technical high of the RSI and the MACD and the stochastic on the indicators, was around April of 2021. This was the real peak. The complacency stage high for Bitcoin was actually a higher high. In a typical ABC corrective wave, to the bottom, we can see in the Elliott corrective waves, the B wave sometimes go higher than the actual top. Right? And so that's what we saw happen right here. And then the C wave bottom. Now, during 2013, well, we saw the peak right here at 1,000. And then we saw the B wave actually be higher than the peak and then the C wave down here. So it's definitely possible for the B wave to be higher than the top. And that's what we saw happen for the last bull run cycle. So what's taking place right now for Bitcoin, well, it broke out of this massive cup and handle formation. So when we go to the C wave in the bottom, all the way down here in January of 2015, Bitcoin recovers from there. And it takes time. As you can see, if I were to just measure all the way from the low right here in January of 2015, how long it took Bitcoin to get back to this B recovery wave for the complacency stage high was over 500 days. Now, if we just measure from, let's just say November of 2022 for Bitcoin, to get back to the previous high was over 500 days, the exact same time frame. What did Bitcoin do when it got back to its previous high? Well, it consolidated below it in a handle formation in this cup and handle. Exact same thing that happened between the 6th of June of 2016 until the 31st of October of 2016, where Bitcoin consolidated below the high in this cup and handle formation. Then once we broke the high, we broke out and we back tested it. Well, look at what happened here in November of 2024. Bitcoin broke out and then it back tested it. Now, it didn't come all the way back down to back test March's high right here, but it was close enough. It was relatively close enough, and we might have wicked off of it on some exchanges right here. And so what's taking place right now for Bitcoin on this next breakout right here, past the high of December, is what happened in the market cycle from March of 2017 until roughly, let's just say like August of 2017, during this phase right here. And so Bitcoin is marching up, going through these little consolidation phases, marching up, going through these little consolidation phases. And in my opinion, what I believe is coming is an eventual blow off top by the end of this year before we inevitably see the next major correction similar to what we saw happen after November of 2021. And this is going to catch a lot of people off guard. A lot of new people are going to come into the market right here, and they're going to see stuff like golden age of crypto. Trump is extremely bullish. ETFs are approved when Bitcoin is upwards of $150,000 to nearly $200,000. Now, nobody knows exactly how high Bitcoin or XRP or your favorite altcoins are going to go. It's impossible to predict those price predictions, but we can use key indicators and different points of confluence to understand how to position ourselves properly for different strategies in crypto, like DeFi yield strategies that we talked about on our 3-day, bootcamp and passive crypto cash flow challenge. We can also talk about, airdrop strategies and also leverage trading strategies, how to short the market as well too. The key thing here to understand is how to look at the markets accurately, unbiased, no emotion, pure logic, and based on facts of the past. Because had you invested into Bitcoin all the way back here on this blow off top at nearly $19,000-$20,000, well, that's what a lot of people did. They came into the market late. I came into the crypto market between 2016, 2017, started investing heavily, when Bitcoin was around $2,000 to $3,000. During this phase right here, very similar to how a lot of people are investing in the markets right now. That's when I was investing back in the markets during this phase in the market cycle, because it was exciting, and it was a new industry that was going to outpace traditional financial returns in the TradFi space. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make any guarantees for you guys because results aren't typical. Quick disclaimer, crypto's risky. You can still lose money in these markets. In fact, I'm going to get into the chart on the hourly and show you my expectations for Bitcoin. So just understand that you're very intelligent. You know that. Maybe you feel like you're not intelligent. Okay, you might be intelligent in something else like fixing cars or skydiving or underwater basket weaving. It doesn't matter. The key thing to understand is that in the crypto space, you don't have to be the most intelligent person to make money. It's all about timing, it's all about positioning, and it's all about understanding when to sell as well too. Now, a lot of you have been holding for a long period of time and you're positioning yourself with the right knowledge to understand how to sell over the next few months by being a part of Altcoin Pro University, attending the live calls, watching these free YouTube videos, you name it. So when we look at Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart, well, here's what I see happening. Right now, Bitcoin is ranging between resistance, which is all the way up here. We have a few resistances. The main one is the all-time high at $123,000. The next one is right here at about $121,000. And also support, which is down here at around $115,600. And then there's another key support right here at around $116,600. So we got 115, 116, and then we have all the way up here at 120 to 123. And so as Bitcoin ranges, the key thing that we need to watch here to understand what's going to happen in the rest of the altcoin market is Bitcoin's indicators for the RSI and the stochastic showing confluence here. Because right now we've seen a bearish cross upwards of 99, almost 100 right here on the 22nd of July. And so this right here is on the hourly. This just took place. And so this is the start of really a bearish divergence, in my opinion, right here. And so we can see Bitcoin making higher highs on the price chart, and we see it making lower highs on the stochastic RSI and downward momentum. Also, we can see that the relative strength index is struggling to muster up a higher high right here, whereas Bitcoin put in a higher high pretty much today, and so the RSI is rolling over right now. Also, the MACD as well too is rolling over a little bit. We see the momentum on the histogram in a little bit of a downtrend. We see us potentially forming a bearish cross right here. So in the short term, just right there, based on the facts alone, momentum is in favor of the bears. So I would just expect Bitcoin to continue to range, but not only that, pull back a little bit in the short term. Within this red box that you guys can see right here, roughly between $116,800 to $118,000. So right now we're at 119. Now, could that not happen? Could Bitcoin break out higher? Absolutely, it's definitely a possibility, and these indicators reverse to the upside. But the key to understand is here. When the probabilities and the confluence on the indicators are in favor of a bearish move, you just have to look at the charts and you have to, with unbiased, right? No emotion here. And that's the way that I see it. And so if it proves otherwise, and if we see Bitcoin break above $121,000 and hold, this resistance as support, and then the indicators reverse back to the upside, well, then that would change my opinion here. But just based on the charts alone, this would be my expectation, is a little short-term pullback for Bitcoin. I would want to see the stochastic RSI come down below 20 and get close to zero on this pullback. I would also want to see the relative strength index reset closer to 34, 35, potentially even drop below 20. That would be a dream accumulation zone right there for Bitcoin. And I'll explain how that's going to affect XRP and what we see on the XRP price chart in a little bit, because fundamentals can sometimes be disconnected from the technicals. When the charts on the technicals and you see confluence on the stochastic, downward momentum, relative strength index, bearish divergence, stochastic, bearish divergence, MACD rolling around, forming a potential bearish cross, Bitcoin, is just looking like it's losing a little bit of momentum right now, ready to continue to range while in the short term pull back. Well, we see the fundamentals are extremely bullish, right? Trump is bullish on crypto. He just signed the Genius Act into law. Well, maybe that's a sell the news event, and now we're going to see a little bit of a pullback. So we'll see. I've been pretty spot on with a lot of these predictions, but they're not really predictions. They're more of realizations just by looking at the chart, and then I make a prediction based on that, and I look at key zones of support and resistance. But the fundamentals are showing Jack Dorsey at Square is allowing merchants to accept Bitcoin starting today. Extremely bullish, right? Well, why is Bitcoin pulling back in the short term when this news is dropping? That's why you need to learn how to look at charts. Also, XRP is pulling back in the short term. What did we see happen here? Well, we saw XRP rally from about $3.42 off of this ascending support. This is a key support to watch here because XRP has been respecting it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of contact. And right now, XRP just pulled back from $3.57, which is a key resistance right now. So other than that, the only other resistance for XRP is like $3.65, which is the all-time high now. And so we are in this ascending triangle. And if I were to just go to Google right here and pull up ascending triangle, I'm not going to edit this out, but ascending triangle right here, you guys can see what an ascending triangle is. It's a flat resistance where you see just a flat upper resistance level that price gets rejected from. In case in point, we can see that right here at $3.65, and you see a rising lower trend line support. Now, this is a actual bullish pattern right here. So what we would need to see is a break of the flat resistance on the upside to continue the uptrend. And also for XRP to respect this ascending support, which it has done multiple times. Now, as XRP continues to climb higher, well, the further and further that we get away from this ascending support and we deviate from it, then we get closer to resistance, or we have to come back down to support. So how do you know what's going to happen next? Well, we look at the indicators and we look for confluence. So on the stochastic RSI, we saw XRP, when it pulled back, experience a bearish cross up above 80 like clockwork. Also, the relative strength index, it made it to 57. This is why we need to look at both, because if you're just looking at the relative strength index, you might see at that point, you're like, well, it's at 57, it's not above 70, so it's still bullish. But then you look at the stochastic RSI on the same exact time frame, and the stochastic RSI is in overbought conditions. And so both of these indicators are saying, somewhat different things, where the stochastic RSI is saying we're overbought, we're drastically overbought on the hourly chart. The relative strength index is showing that we're neither overbought nor oversold. We're above 50, so we're technically bullish because we're in an uptrend from XRP bouncing off of this ascending support. So the RSI could technically trend a little bit higher, but that's why I like to look at both indicators, because if I get mixed signals like this, especially if I see the stochastic RSI up here at these levels, well, you can just circle on the chart what happens on XRP's price action anytime that we get up to these levels right here on the stochastic and we experience a bearish cross. Well, what takes place is we see pullbacks and we see these key indicators reset and we see the price pull back like what's happening right now. So I would potentially expect, if Bitcoin continues to pull back, XRP to pull back closer to $2.46, $2.47 within this range right here. Also, I want to be watching the stochastic RSI. You want to be watching this indicator right here, because we are in downward momentum right now, but we're at 47 and 33 on the K line right here in orange, the D line right here in blue. And so we're neither overbought nor oversold, but we are in bearish momentum right now. So that's key to note. The favor of the bears means that as Bitcoin pulls back, XRP would most likely pull back to this ascending support. Now, it doesn't need to necessarily touch it or hold on it for too long. As you can see, we can wick off of it really quick while the stochastic RSI comes all the way down here below 20 and rebounds to the upside. The relative strength index drops down here and then bounces in the short term. I would just expect something like this. And I'll come back over the next few days when I'm done riding camels out here in Dubai and going to the water park and doing whatever else we're going to be doing. We just got back from the Burj Khalifa, and actually we did a whole entire tour that I'll show you guys in another video of a retreat in this oasis, and driving through sand dunes and riding camels and eating amazing food out in the desert, watching the sunset and a falcon show. It was incredible. And that's why I do crypto, is to basically not just earn money through investing, but it's to live an incredible lifestyle as well too. In order to do that, you have to understand chart patterns. You have to understand different things that will improve your unconscious competence in the crypto space so that you can live an amazing lifestyle. And if we look at the USDT's market cap dominance right here, we can see it's about 4.15% of the whole entire industry. And we are in a downtrend, which is obvious because crypto's been breaking out. However, what we need to look at here is the stochastic and the relative strength index and see what's happening, because as crypto's been breaking out, Bitcoin's been breaking out, XRP's been breaking out. Well, with this short-term pullback, what does that mean for Tether's market cap dominance? Because if the altcoins and Bitcoin pulls back, that money is rotating elsewhere. And where would that money most likely rotate? To stablecoins for a little bit, to USDC, USDT, Ripple stablecoin as well too. And we see short-term temporary bounces in the stablecoin dominance. And so USDT's market cap dominance on the stochastic RSI is in oversold conditions. We're at 10 and 8.56 right now on the stochastic RSI. Also, the relative strength index is at 27 right now. We're in both oversold conditions on the daily chart. Now, this also would now strengthen the confluence that I just showed you on Bitcoin and XRP's price chart with those indicators, because Tether's dominance is showing the exact opposite. It's showing where we could be reversing to the upside in the short term and seeing a bounce in Tether's dominance, or at least us to range sideways, favoring the bears for a downward move in the short term for the altcoins that you're holding, and a bullish move for Tether's market cap dominance for some type of bounce in the short term just based on these indicators. This is just what I'm seeing right here. Now, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news because we just did 3 live calls. I shoot it straight. I'm just going to tell you guys exactly what I see. And here's what I see. The fundamental news is bullish. Okay. The White House posting stuff like this, Donald Trump extremely bullish on crypto. But when this stuff usually happens and the event takes place, like the signing of the Genius Act, Jack Dorsey allowing Square and merchants to accept Bitcoin starting today, Donald Trump coming out and basically saying that like Ripple's technology with XRP is the future of finance. Well, that's the most bullish news. But then why are the charts showing the opposite? It's because people buy the rumors and they sell the news. And so what happened with Bitcoin in light of, Donald Trump signing these bills into law? Well, people were buying the rumors, the event took place, and now what's happening? Like clockwork, people are selling the news. And so as XRP continues to pull back, as Bitcoin continues to pull back, we're going to watch Tether's market cap dominance over the next few days. And we're going to see if we see a bounce in here. Or, hey, I could be completely wrong. And I hope I'm wrong because, everyone's going to make more money as crypto goes up. But it's good to be wrong about being bearish, because if you're right about being bearish and you're prepared for it and you see something like this take place, when you see something like this take place where Tether's market cap dominance breaks out, we see the stochastic RSI come back above 80 right here, and the relative strength index resets to the upside. Well, then now you can rotate some of that capital back into the crypto market for the next major move to the downside, because I do think Tether's market cap dominance will eventually come back down within this zone that we've retested multiple times since November 2024, January 2025, March of 2024, and then even all the way back here as well too. This is a major support that I'm going to be watching for Tether's dominance for the next move higher for Bitcoin's price chart, like I just showed you right here, compared back to 2017's bull run. And when Bitcoin goes in that parabola, I don't even know how to say that word, but the euphoria stage of the market cycle and starts to absolutely break out and start crushing it above 123K, going to 130, 140, potentially 150, maybe higher. My price prediction for Bitcoin has always been around roughly $190,000-ish to 200K max this bull run cycle. If we go above that, that's a bonus, but that's my max for Bitcoin this bull market cycle, for various reasons that I'll get into in other videos. Now, if you guys do want to see the top altcoins when that rotation takes place from Tether's market cap dominance on the next drop, then check out Altcoin Pro University. It's only $97 a month. If you're not happy for whatever reason, 14-day money back guarantee, so there's no risk at all. You join, 14 days, go through the value, go through 100 plus expert curated classes. I mean, if you guys didn't get value out of these three things, then I should probably just get a job at McDonald's here. If Ryan and Yoni didn't provide value, then maybe we should all go work at Walmart together. Yeah, I don't know, but comment it's paid if you guys got value out of it. And if you got value out of these calls, I know you're going to get even more value inside of Altcoin Pro University for only $97. Now, if you want personalized coaching and you want to join our accelerator program, then you can check that out through the link in the description below. But apply fast. I believe we've had like 20 people already apply, where I'll have to talk with the team to see how many of them are confirmed. So these spots, they're not going to last long. And yes, this is actually a real number. We're not going to accept more than 30. Once it's closed, it's closed. And maybe we'll open it up again in the future. We don't need to do this to be making money, because I've done very well in the crypto market over the past few years. I think it's just fun to help people get results. And I know people are only going to take it serious if they pay money to learn. And time's valuable. I respect my time. I respect your time. And we're not going to waste your time, okay? So if you have gotten value out of Altcoin Pro, we're putting everything and all of our energy and time into the accelerator program. But don't just believe me. Test it for yourself. Get started. Go through the altcoin picks. Go through all of the training. And if the Altcoin Pro Accelerator program is right for you, and it's not like your last dollar that you're spending on it, and you are a little bit wealthier and you do have more money, maybe you got multiple six figures or multiple millions of dollars, and you want to learn more about the DeFi space, you want to learn more about trading, you want more personalized guidance on your portfolio strategy that you need to master based on what our team understands, then we can help you out with that. But by all means, up to you. I'm just excited to be with you guys, backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them, stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we already know and we believe that the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation, blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, cryptocurrencies have been going up in value. That's the truth. And together, we're all running to the top, whether it be the top of the Burj Khalifa, here, top of Dubai. I'm out here overlooking the palms. I got to get out the way, figure out which way to lean from this. The view is absolutely insane here. I'll show you guys a video in a little bit, but running to the top of the leaderboards, the top of the market, and the top of the morning to you as I clock out here at, 6 in the morning. I'm going to go catch some sleep and then go outside, hang out by the pool. But I appreciate you guys. I will see you on the next video. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.